with him to study college, gone to medical school, gone to 300 things, and he's sitting there with a cup, and he's just pouring tea into this cup, the older monk, and this until it's overflowing and overflowing. And the older monk says, "You got to come with an empty cup." And so my hope is to this conversation, no matter what you've heard before or what you've experienced before, you're coming with an empty cup. And you're coming from that space of, it might be a word, it might be energy, it might be the meditation, it might be someone's story, but that occurred for you in order for you to be the fullest expression of the frequency you're here to express. It's great to know there's other ways to enter this room as well. Which is, we've got a huge panel for you. And for each person, I'm going to invite, if you're on the panel, come on up and sit on the stage. And it's the, we've got more coming. They're just setting up the food so they can leave. Live. I do. I stand.
You're going to stand?
I'm going to stand. It's because
she stands for everything.
I do. I am a stand.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I guess.
Chair available to each.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay. So I am very honored to introduce Dr. Sarah Larsen. I've had the privilege to actually mentor under her, and she's changed my life. She's changed people's lives because she's changed my life and taught me how to use my gifts, how to transcend into my brilliance, how to allow the abundance and how to free my soul, how to move forward into everything that she's going to be sharing through these. And I know that a lot of you guys, I don't know if you've worked with her personally, but I was very gratitude, had a lot of gratitude for it. So I want to introduce her. She's been around the world teaching. She does events everywhere. She works with the top. She's even worked with the government in multiple places, helping open hearts, helping people know how to love big and create the life that they actually want. And we're doing Costa Rica together in June.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I'm so honored. You're so welcome. We're so honored. David's in the room. Ruth V. Mellor, the Oracle. We just spoke, right? Amazing. Snakes in the booth. And people that were afraid of snakes actually being studied. And she's now going to be studied at UCLA and possibly Cedars-Sinai with animal medicine, animal magic. Everything is energy. And if we fully understand that everyone here came together to really make a difference in your life, in your frequency, and for each person to just share a little bit, I'm going to chime in, but a 1 minute answer very, very quickly, your name and why you're here. And we'll start with that.
My name is Greg Larsen, and why I'm here is love. Yes, when I was thinking about transcending, it's like, why not my grandest struggle is rising to be the husband and father of my intentions so I can love this woman and my 2 children as much as possible. And so I'm continually every day trying to transcend being, like unhealthy male energy, sense, unhealthy masculine, the distraction of modern society, and what else is there? Just my own idiosyncratic, foibles and things I've picked up along the way which don't serve me in being my intention, which is to love. And that's my transcendence.
Everyone. It's one of the reasons we go out. He is Mr. Power of Now, happy as humanly possible. Happy as humanly possible. So beautiful. It's why we do this work, is we want this for everyone that wants it. It's so beautiful. You can't make this stuff up, right? You can't, there's no other substitute for it. And with us so beautifully, right next to you, Tatiana, I'm so excited that you're here. She actually just came in for this panel, this Transcendence panel right here, to be with you guys. This amazing journey to make it. She was just recently featured on La La Land, and is featured in so many places. She gave up her corporate career to really be here and empower women. So I'm so excited for you to share your full name and then why you're here.
So my name is Tatiana Dudyez, and I'm forever on a path of transcending my energy, my feminine and masculine energy, and to really give that gift back to women in the business and corporate world. So I teach these beautiful women for whom success has become almost what holds them back. They've known what success is from an external place and a validation type of place, as opposed to what is really all within us. It's our real unique light, and that's our power. And I work with those women so that they really feel what that means for them, and they don't hold their light back, and they don't sit and fit or try to fit into a box anymore. That is the corporate box, the business box. And so they can break through and just be all of who they can be, become more every day. So that's my intention, is to transcend them into more of an integration of feminine and masculine in the world.
Does she not hold the feminine so beautifully and a powerhouse in what she's creating? Thank you so much to create that. And Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, even just the name itself, Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, to really embody, and she has so many years of research, the founding principles of quantum physics, scalar energy. When you see videos of the scalar energy going off at the top of the pyramids, or the work they're showing in the Bosnian pyramids, they're quoting Dr. Sandra Rose Michael and the scalar wave work. And to be a powerful woman in this world, in this work, where most were men when she started out, and it was like they didn't have restrooms for girls. Like, when you really, really think about it, you had to go and you had to show up, and you had to both be the feminine and the masculine to really learn so beautifully. And the gift of this new medicine that's come through is really based on your work. And so, see your full name and why you're here today.
Yeah, Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, as she said, I am here because the gorgeous Dr. Sarah Larsen invited me. And that's really brings me. I just adore you and who you are and what you share and why we're all.
Can you speak louder?
Okay. Okay, so why we are all here is for this focus of this time, because You know, we are the ones we've been waiting for. And we've waited a long time for this time on the planet. I came in, my mother was a nuclear physicist working on the bomb, fissioning plutonium the entire time she was pregnant with me. Yeah, my parents met in engineering physics, my dad at aerospace, aeronautical, worked on Mach 3. You know, so I grew up playing with Geiger counters and gyroscopes. I thought everybody did. And healing all the animals on the farm. And I came in with all the memories of my past lives. I could go through walls. I thought everybody did. I really did. It was shocking, really shocking to find out that they didn't. But yeah, I wrote romance, all that kind of stuff, but with a total 1,000% spiritual purpose. I'm sent on a mission, on assignment. How do we bring healing to the world in this time? You know, in this time of a great shift. We're a very great shift on this planet, in case you haven't noticed. Deep shift. And the shift is at the fan of accelerated evolution, and it's shifting off the planet. It's cancer. You know, we're at critical mass as a society, as a planet. So we're here to bring that healing through all the realms.
Through all the realms. It's amazing. When was the last time you were in a room with, you know, your parents, right? Coming through that level of intelligence, that level of service to the planet. Dr. Sandra Rose, thank you so much. And I too thought everyone knew and saw everything the same way. I thought that as well. And if for a moment we can get into this frequency, that you can see or experience anything that we see or experience. Again, it's that story of the empty cup, being the monk coming with the empty cup and letting it be filled up by this frequency. You're in the same room, in the same place as someone that has worked and studied and created to this level. Like attracts like. This is where you are. And sitting right next to Dr. Sandra Rose is Ruth Mellor. And so beautiful, animal communicator, oracle, traveling the world.
Yeah.
Shaman, beautiful. Introduce yourself, why you're here.
I'm Ruth Mellor, that's what the Dudyez. And I'm here. Well, I first got introduced by Dr. Sandra Larsen, and then David. It has been awesome this whole time creating this transformation.
You are the light.
Thank you. And I love to interact the animal side of things with the human side, teaching people how to communicate, how to utilize the healing processes that the animals have for us and what we have for them. And then with that, it's also basically, I like to say I'm a teacher of the mysteries. And in that, it contains being able to connect in many ways. Connect to whatever things are going to help benefit your gifts, your abilities, your translation of why you're here, and how to amplify that, whether it's corporate, whether it's holistic, whether it's just being a good person, which is huge, just a happy, loving person. And so, yeah, we do retreats. Dr. Sarah is helping host one with me, and we're doing it at the Soul Sanctuary in Costa Rica. But what that is taste your magic. And one thing that I discovered, and I'll say really back, is for me, because I had multiple dynamics of how I utilized information, senses, and abilities and wordings. I understood that what I translate, even in a word of like honesty or integrity, is at a different vibrational level than other people. So I have learned how to translate things for me. What do things mean for me? I've learned and trained with masters around the world, taught and done that. And in that, I've discovered that everybody, it's more about
how do you get to use you? How do you get to work you? What is it for you? Because you are the gift. And so Chase Your Magic, I love that piece of awakening the beauty and the wisdom and the knowledge and the connection that you have.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. And to experience her work, again, she's being studied and the animal is being studied. It's each one of you, every one of you carries something that's so profound. And until you're in it, tasting it, right, and able to use language to describe it, until you're in that space of boldly going where no one else has gone, by sharing, right, what you know, your energy, so beautiful. And so we're coming to Miss Lisa Thomas, so beautiful. You've been doing this and speaking this and creating this long before most people were out there talking about it. And so tell us about you and your...
All right, so I'm Lisa Thomas, and my specialty is releasing the inherited patterns. And we each have our DNA code, and within the DNA code we have our epigenetics. And our epigenetics is how our ancestors experience their life, and then it gets handed down in our cell memory. And the beautiful thing is, we don't have to keep them. Because you see, I believe, just like everyone on this panel, that we chose this time to be born. And we did because we have a reason to be here at this time. And that's why I think that healing there isn't one way to heal, by the way, right? But everybody that does healing is able to help you in a different way. And I'm grateful to be part of that consciousness and the awareness that's coming onto the planet. You notice, think back just 5 years ago. Could you really talk about this 5 years ago? Just that short frame. Right? So when I was a little girl, I thought seeing spirits and hearing and smelling and all those things, all right, I didn't believe everybody else did because my parents told me they didn't. And they told me that I couldn't be who I was. So for most of my life, I was very shut down because I didn't know why God had given me these gifts and I didn't know what to do with them until I started actually owning them and creating a modality where I can release these inherited patterns, trusting the person's body. Your body gives me the answer, and then the lineage comes in. So when I release it from the client, it releases it from everyone. That's why I'm here. Thank you.
As you hear each person speak, whatever's in your nature and ancestral, she carries the code of it being healed. We've got animal communication oracle. We've got scalar energy. We've got powerhouse of a woman. We've got powerhouse of masculine man, and a great, beautiful. Our set is about Chihuahua. A lot about Chihuahua is a lot about Pacello. And Dr. Marga, right, the birthright. You come in with the bounty. She's delivered tons of babies, tons of doctors. She's been a mom or a doctor to thousands of children and with their parents as well. To really, really bring that in. She is a 2-time survivor of an aneurysm. The likelihood of, like, it's less than 1%, the miracle frequency here. Right? The babies, aneurysms, surviving all the different things that you can survive. Moving to this country, doctor, abusive background, husband, life, and to survive all of that, to be able to give you your birthright. Marga, I'd love for you to share your name and why you're here.
I'm Dr. Marga Macias, so you can just call me Marga. And as opposed to how they were, we were born knowing that they had these gifts and wondering why people didn't have it. I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. I didn't know what I had. I didn't think I was anything special.
I didn't know my purpose in life. But then through life's hardships and difficulties and the challenges I went through, I always wanted to go for personal growth. And it's in knowing and growing and experiencing everything that life had to throw at me that I realized I am here for a reason, as is everybody. And the purpose of writing my book, Birthright, is just to remind people that we're all born to greatness. We are all in this world for a very specific reason. No matter how, from the tiniest baby to the oldest person alive, we're here for a reason. We are a gift to everybody. And that we have to own that greatness, because when we tap into our uniqueness and our strength, then there's nothing that we cannot accomplish. And so my transcendence is because I've come from the dark into the light, from hopelessness into hope and promise and love and light. This is my mission now, that I bring people from the areas of darkness, from hopelessness, despair, pain, agony, mistrust, from the source of pain, whatever their pain is, into the light, to know that there is something beyond their misery. And then all they have to do is open their eyes and claim their uniqueness and their greatness, and the world stands before them, ready to embrace them.
The world stands before you, ready to embrace you. It's so beautiful, such a gift. Thank you. I'm so excited that we've got two men on the panel. Right?
It's so karmically perfect.
Perfect with this energy, and for what Charlie Pacello brings to the field is extraordinary. This is a person that worked in and at one time knew that he was installing or working with information that could destroy the world. And working in a position with the government, and went into a shutdown mode until he figured out how to get back in integrity. When he was installing things that could destroy our world, a part of him went down, like no longer home. And at some point he realized, and he'll share so much of the story, he's working with and learning from Dr. Carolyn Mace. He is a yoga instructor, having survived post-traumatic stress disorder, post-traumatic soul, all of these modalities to help you recover your soul. And so I love that you're at that end, multiple generations of post-traumatic stress disorder that you healed personally by doing your work, shifted your dad, the future generations as well. Share just a little bit about your name and why you're here.
My name is Charlie Pacello. I'm very humbled by what you said, Sarah. I don't know if I could say I've been as successful in as much as I would like to have been. But I love people. I love helping people. I've always have since I was a boy. I wanted to help my mom when she was crying because of my dad was a Vietnam veteran, fought 2 tours. My grandfather fought in World War II. He was with Patton in North Africa. And the wars, they can pass down generational traumas, the violence, the horror. And, my mom was at the mercy of that. And I would go up to her when I was 2.5 years old after a night of violence and say, Mama, please don't cry. And so I think ever since I was very young, I wanted to help people heal their soul. But I didn't understand what that was. I didn't understand what that meant. I just knew I loved people and cared about it. And when I got into the military, as Sarah was saying, I was working as an Air Force officer, commissioned graduate from the Air Force Academy, and I worked on the GNT program, which is the Ground Nuclear Detonation Detections Terminal, which was ground and control, command control units operation that would only be used as a survivable mobile command unit that would only be used to conduct end-to-end nuclear war. And so I was planning on destroying the world and everywhere. And so coming back from, I've lost all faith in hope and everything. And so the complex PTSD that I ended up experiencing as a consequence of a very dysfunctional relationship, abusive, narcissistic relationship, led me to trying to uncover how do we heal this? How do we go from the depths of despair, from one's personal hell, when in Buddha's language, hell to a Buddhist is where you're absolutely powerless to make a choice to escape whatever condition you're in. That is, for a Buddhist, that I couldn't go lower than that. And so how do we climb ourselves out of that? How do we reclaim ourselves? How do we heal? How do we bring all those demons that we have inside of ourselves, and how do we make peace with them? And so I just developed programs and working with people and studying with the best and people who work with the military. And Dr. Sarah and I developed a program to help people with trauma-related issues. And then I want to expand it. So how do you help families? How do you help children? Right now, I teach classes for parents who are going through divorce. It's a court-ordered mandated class to help parents understand how conflict affects their children. It's not their divorce that does damage to the kids, it's the conflict. And if we can start to heal those intergenerational wounds right there, we don't have to pass that on to our children. We can begin to really heal at a core essential level those generational wounds and begin to put a stop to it. If we can have a whole generation of children like that, it's amazing. Amazing. And so, and then, I believe, last thing is that this time is about us taking, the order is to take command of our souls. Our souls. No one has a right to take command of them. Not anyone on this planet, person, entity, institution, man, woman, anybody should have any power or control. It's really about empowering yourself. How do we take command of our souls? If everybody can do that on this planet and take it away, we start to take away the shadows that are out there as well that we projected out. The highest moral act we can do as a human being is to own our own shadow. And if we can all do it, more and more, to get a bright future.
So beautiful. And we'll move back from your end this way that you just spoke. And what does transcend mean to you? And if you could give us what does that mean to you, to transcend? And each person that follows will get to add to what you're sharing.
Okay.
You've studied with Karen Mace, you've studied with Dr. Edward Tick, taken people to Greece, developed programs with using St. Francis of Assisi's methods, created some of the most profound. What does transcend mean to you? And if you could help everyone, we all transcend at some point, to really create what that might feel like for the soul.
I think it begins with coming to a really quiet place inside of you and beginning to say, you know what, I'm no longer going to lie to myself anymore. I'm no longer going to betray myself anymore. I'm no longer going to blame anyone else for the choices, actions, and decisions I make in my life. If I can get into that kind of clarity, that transcendence that begins to happen is
that state of grace, that state of embodiment, and we've done our homework. We've been doing our homework. Any and everything you have been through is what it's taken for you to be able to fulfill your highest purpose. Now, you would not be able to live your greatest light, your greatest life, wouldn't have your highest visions, your highest purpose, if you didn't have everything to fulfill it and do it now. So let's go for it. Get ready to show up, step up, and create the balance for the planet. The more you walk the planet as fully realized, enlightened God, goddess beings in ecstatic states of love for everybody. And why would you ever deny anybody that? It's about showing up and being present with anything and everything with love. We'll be tested. Can you love this? And where's love in this, and that? Oh my God.
And Dr. Sandra, you brought your technology. You're going to set it up on the table so you
Oh,
can.
it is set up here, yes.
Yes.
Now I came in, realized my parents, from the time I could talk, literally from the time I could talk, I was talking about the mad Atlantean scientists and the abuse of power and the abuse of technology. And so we've created a technology that overrides all the other technologies with a higher power, the power of love, transcendent technology, transformational technology that literally activates the light at the core of the DNA. And as we radiate light, it's pure science. As we radiate light, nothing that is not of the light can affect us. I asked, how do we bring healing to the whole world? How do we create the accelerated evolution? How do we create the quantum leaps of consciousness on this planet? And this technology was brought forward for that, this time, for this total embodiment, and to override all these others. I can go into all the stuff we've been doing with the military and NASA and MIT, and I've lectured for at least 20 ministries of health.
And this technology is in the healing centers, renowned healing centers, including in Costa Rica. It's there, it's at Agape Spiritual Center, it's at the premier spas.
Now it's here.
And it's here, so I want to make sure that you experience it while
Even
you're
just this
here.
little baby system that we brought completely collapses and nullifies all detrimental field effects, the EMF, the ELF, the radiation, which is the big deal. I know radiation from the inside out, literally. Tesla technologies are the only thing known to reverse deionizing and non-ionizing radiation, put the DNA back in its original matrix, its original integrity. So you stay strong no matter what. Your DNA is like Teflon in its little guy.
So everything that you've done to come bring it and sit as an empty cup around the technology that it shows. Thank you so much for being here. Wow. Ruth, I know you have so many stories, and I'd love for you to share one of the stories of the vortexes or the openings of the transcended experience, maybe in the group that you've created in Cancun, or the transcended experience, so that everyone here knows how to create that for themselves as well. The vortexes of energy, your stories around
Been thinking 5 months. Okay. So lots of stories, lots of different things. Dealing with time, space, and the ability to be present and be able to manipulate how you want to create your space, your reality, who you are, what you want to attract in, how fast, how far, right? And then on top of that, being able to vortex, create, because anything that you release in the universe creates a pull also back, right? So that's why the law of attraction, right? Everything that you can let go, like you describe it so beautifully. You know, if you're holding these different things in your hands, and you're saying, I want, you're not going to be able to receive it or hold it. It's been my experience. I've received abundance, but didn't realize I thought I could hold it, right? And then somewhere along the line, because I wouldn't let go of stuff, I dropped everything, right? Or it crushed me. So this is interesting. It's just, how do I get tied into the vortex? So when you let go of stuff, when you release the epigenetics, when you come to a space of non-judgment, when you come into love, it creates energy poles, vortexes, that then help pull in what you're wanting to create. So if you are also in a lower state, if you are in the lack thought, the thought of not having something, then it will then
pull or a lack, right? And so it is as if be very cautious of the questions you ask, because you will get the answers. And so if you're asking a question of, why am I not receiving love? It will tell you, your brain will find a way to create an answer. You're not receiving because you're not worthy. You're not receiving because you didn't look good enough. You're not receiving, you'll get answers that way. So reverse the vortex of that pull by breathing, coming to what you really want, being okay with letting stuff go, both material, energetic, thought patterns, belief systems, challenging yourself to see what is this new? What is this new experience? And then focus on the questions you ask. Why am I lovable? Well, it's because you're happy. Well, it's because you like to play. Well, it's because you have a big heart and you care for people and you attract them in. Right? Why am I receiving so much money? Well, it's because the fruits of your labors are coming to you now. It's because you're open. Right? That's why it's important to let go, because you're creating the vortex, the pull, right? The pull of everything. And can I share one thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so there are portal areas for information and energy, and vortex areas that manipulate